Alrighty, my lovely Trails fans, welcome back to our next episode of Trails in the Sky. Okay then, so let's see, so we are going to be making our way over to Grancel now. Which means we have to go through the Ritter Roadway. Just make sure I've got my cloak on, yes I do, nothing is attacking me. So Grancel, shouldn't be too much of a stop there, we're mainly going to be chatting with the NPCs, and then there's like 2 monster extermination quests that we need to do. And also at this point, I think this is the final time that you should have to speak to Anton. So the achievements on this game are a little weird. Sometimes they can unlock earlier than they actually would. If you haven't got the achievement for the Odyssey of Anton, when you speak to him here, if you've spoken to him every single time that you were supposed to, that should be when it unlocks. You lot, your braces, right? Lyson Fortress is currently under emergency alert. Unless your business is critical, I'll have to ask you to leave. Excuse me, is General Bright in the fortress? Of course General Bright is here, but as a result of everything not working, the army's in chaos. The General's been working without rest, sending orders out to all regions via courier, rebuilding the chain of command. Even if you are braces, I'm afraid I can't let you see him. Okay. Could you potentially make an exception this once? This is actually General Bright's daughter. Wait, really? You're Miss Estelle Bright? I'd heard she was in the guild, but... Heck then, of course you can come in. I'll show you right to the General's. No, it's okay really. I wouldn't want to get in the way of his job if he's that busy. Estelle? A little visit might help the both of you, you know? Dad has his way, I have mine. I'm sure that Dad doing well in his job will make mine easier, and I think if I do the same, his job will get easier too. So it's enough just knowing he's okay. I see. Fair enough. We'll be going then. Please give our best to the General and let him know we stopped by if you get a chance. Of course, I'll do what I can. I'll see if I can catch him during mess or something. Thanks again. Alrighty, so what was I saying? Yep, so we're just going to have some monster extermination quests. My achievement for the Odyssey of Anton already unlocked when I spoke to him back in Roland ages ago, but if it hasn't unlocked for you, then it should unlock once you speak to him in Grancel this last time, if you've spoken to him all of the previous times. But yeah, it can be a bit janky. Some achievements in this game are unlocked before others, like the monster extermination quest for doing all the monster extermination quests. That one I had already unlocked for me, I think back in Bose, so I'm not too sure if you have to actually do all of the Redux versions where it's you basically go and kill them all in these areas again or what, but it might not unlock until after you've killed them in all of the towns again, which we're doing right now. The brass seems so unconcerned about it all. I'm really worried. We've got to protect this region with our guns not working after all. Couldn't we at least prepare some barricades maybe? Those guys who are getting scared just because they can't use their orbital guns are useless as soldiers. One way or another, if things come to a real melee, you can't use guns anyway. If it's going to come to that, I'll fight with my bayonet from the get-go. If the airship can't fly, then our responsibility's all the greater. With air passage cut off, the only routes to invade the capital are from the east and west. In other words, if our security is sufficient, then we can protect the peace of the capital. To be fair, if the invading force are using orbital guns, they're going to be in the same boat they are. I've been having this recurring dream lately. In it, the whole world's a dead wasteland except for this guard post. That's kind of what it was like while communications were dead. I still get scared whenever I think of how there are no travellers coming through. Hey, welcome. Since you're here, grab something to eat, yeah? I'll give you the best meal you've ever had. There used to be a maid here that fell in love with everyone. Here she is. A man's true value is something you find out in a crisis. Someone you can rely on in a pinch is the real thing, I think. In that sense, this situation is the perfect chance. You bet I'm going to be evaluating me some fine men. be obsessed with evaluating men at a time like this. Seems like there's more than one screw loose in Tammy's head. Where did I go wrong raising her? So that is her mother. What will the enemy's next target be? I can't even imagine. Right now the essential thing is to not move for little things. We need to solidify our defences and wait to see how the enemy moves. Of course, that could be the enemy's goal itself. The untraceable Crimson Soldiers and those groups of machine-like monsters. There are hidden enemies lurking within the kingdom these days. Even if the gate doesn't close, I will not let them do as they please. We have our own pride as the shield of the kingdom after all. It was probably already mentioned the fact that that was her mother, I just couldn't remember. No one there. At least I don't have to wait for those gates to go up and down now. Looks like they're just permanently up. That floating island's still floating around today too. Ever since that island appeared, ordnance haven't worked. I kind of feel like that itself isn't our fault. It's just my own impression, but there's something sublime about it. Can I see it from here? I guess not. Time to go back downstairs and continue onwards to Grancel. If ordnance aren't working, then Night Guard is going to be a real nail-biter. With no lights, there's no way to see any enemies coming. Apparently they sell these goggles over in Zeiss that let you see even in the dark. I wish they'd consider buying a couple of those for our squad. Hey you all. Seems like you're doing bits of work here and there. Well, nothing wrong with going all out, but don't take on too much work. Alright, Herb, Scenic Route, Grancel. We just head straight to Grancel and then we can go through like the Herb Scenic Route on the way to Rolent. Because we can go to the villa. But I want to go to Rolent first of all. Not Rolent, Grancel. The night is so dark that you can see lots of stars. It's so pretty. Dick's a scaredy cat who can't even go to the toilet on his own, so it's not really any different from normal. Talk about inconvenient. It's so dark at night that I can't even go to the toilet. Apparently someone's moved into the open house I was thinking of renting in the West Block. Seems he's going to run a shop, but that old guy is just plain suspicious if you ask me. Tom, the repair guy over at the factory, is a real trustworthy person. If he says it's not a malfunction, I believe him. Zacharias thinks they're trying to make him buy new model units. Even just waiting like this makes me nervous. I'm learning how to make popcorn over an open flame like we used to do. I'm usually pretty unlucky, so I'm used to trouble. I'm sure things will go back to normal someday, so we just gotta get through them now. Ah, I never knew the sun could be so bright and warm. Nights are so dark and cold, it makes me all the more anxious. So I believe in Grancel you can actually buy quartz, buy septium. Ah, sorry, but the factory's closed for business right now. A few days ago all Orbital-driven equipment stopped working. No clue why. At this rate though, I'm out of a job. Oh right, of course. Don't worry though. I think we have a little something to help with that. A little something? Let me explain. Joshua explained that by using the ZFG, the factory's functionality could be temporarily restored. Is it true? Well, the equipment's right there. Could you give it a shot? Yeah, if you don't mind. Well then, if you'll let me borrow the equipment for a moment. On activation, the ZFG restored power to the factory's tools. Ooh, it really worked. Alright, if you want to tune your augments, now's the time. So yeah, oh wait, no, that trades it the other way. Still, those generators or whatever are incredible. Just to check, would you be willing to sell one? Even if the cost's a bit high, I'd be interested. After all, if my equipment was the only stuff that worked, I'd rake in the mirror. I wish we could, but I'm sorry, they're needed for an important mission. Besides, even if you were able to open your factory, the citizens can't use their augments, so there wouldn't be much point, you see. There is that problem. Huh? Well, bring that when you come by. If you do, you'll be able to use the factory like normal. There is going to be somebody around here that actually lets us trade our cash. Or Septium, I just can't remember who it is. It might be this guy up here. Seems like everyone finally understands that all augments everywhere aren't working. Seems like the announcement from Queen Alicia had some effect. Anyway, all we can do is put up with it while we do what we can. When the augment stopped, customers pushed into the store wondering if theirs were damaged or if they got sold bad parts. They were real upset, but Tom explained and then they all just nodded their heads and left. If it had been just me, I doubt I would have been able to really persuade them. Trade Sepith the Mirror. Surely there's gotta be a way to do it the other way around. Okay. Well, I know there's somebody in Grancel that lets you trade it the other way. I'll just have to find them later. Might even be... Is it going to be at the Bracer Guild, maybe? Oh, Estelle, everyone, and Joshua. Welcome back. I'm glad you've returned safely. Hello, Elnan. I'm sorry if I worried you. No, hardly. I'm just glad to see you well. I hope you'll continue to be a valuable member of the guild. Sorry to cut in, Elnan, but how are things here in Grancel? Yes, well, the city's in chaos thanks to the sudden shutdown of all Orbital devices. The local factory is snowed under in repair requests, as I understand it. However, Queen Alicia has made a proclamation. She has declared that the government is devoting every resource to investigating and reversing the shutdown phenomenon, and that citizens should try to continue their daily lives as best they can. It seems to have quelled the worst of the panic for now. Looks like Queen Alicia is on top of it as always. Yes, but that giant flying thing above Valeria Lake. The citizens are putting two and two together and saying it's the cause of the Orbital problems. I see. That's not very surprising. The number of people staring at it in the harbour grows hourly. Beyond that, the only other major change is that the gate to Grancel Castle won't open, courtesy of the Orbital suspension. Okay. Things are calmer here than I thought they'd be, honestly. Yes, if this situation drags on, however, I don't think things will remain so placid. We need to restore communications across the country so that we can organise a solution as soon as possible. And so we need to restore the phones in each city. Meaning our mission is pretty critical. Let's get back to it then. All that's left is Roland. Yeah, let's hurry. It is not an overstatement to say that the future of Labelle may rest on your shoulders. Good luck, all of you. My word, that's a Master Fisher card, no doubt about it. Oh, this thing I got from Lloyd? Master Fisher card which only those who can fish up a famed guardian can claim. And proof you are a comrade of us. Is it? That kind of makes me happy and also kind of not. Oh, so Master Fishers can purchase as much bait as they need here. Really? That's nice. It certainly is, it's a real perk, don't you know? Should you need bait, just come speak to me. And now we have our bait shop so you can buy all the bait in the game. If you want to go and do a lot of fishing. Our society's members are pretty used to outdoor activities. Seems like they're not as bothered as other people when it comes to roughing it. Lloyd's even lighting fires, rubbing sticks together. Don't see any tourists around at all anymore. I mean, not much you can do about it, but it's pretty sad. All the younger people are pretty shocked, it seems. Never been a day in their lives when they didn't have ordnance. Of course, the fisherman's group is proving to be pretty tough. I wonder why the stove isn't working. It's hard to cook without a stove. As long as I have that man, I'm scared of nothing. We didn't used to have ordnance, so we can live just fine. No matter what, I have to keep my wife safe. Youch! Daytime's not so bad, at least it's warm and I can see what I'm doing. Cooking at night, however, now that's a real pain. I just hope I don't set myself on fire. Ah, this sucks. Not being able to use ordnance is such a hassle. I trust that Her Majesty will be able to fix everything soon, however. I just don't feel like it right now. You can see the flying island thingy from the harbour from what I hear. What say we go see for ourselves? The surface of the meat is roasted perfectly and smells wonderful. Direct heat cooking's different than normal, but kinda nice. Seems like it's hard to control the fire though. Greedy was having a rough time of it at first. Phew, it took a bit, but I think I'm getting used to this cooking with fire thing. If the people from the fisherman's group hadn't taught me, I'd probably be closed for business at this point. Why, when I was a young lad, we didn't even have ordnance? It's not a darn thing inconvenient about living without them, I say. If anything, it brings me back to my youth. Bringing it back to your youth doesn't stop all this from being inconvenient. No matter how trying the circumstances, I've never lost the strength to endure. So long as we stay strong and endure, Her Majesty will surely pull through for us. General Cassius and Colonel XSEED are in the Royal Army. Just thinking that calms me. The Royal Army is still maintaining heightened security. I'll do my best too in case the worst happens. Nights sure are long when you can't use ordnance. I'm so anxious I can't sleep. It's so depressing to see the sunset. Oh, Zin, please go on through. Many thanks. Given the situation, I bet it's rough over at the embassy, huh? Yeah, Ambassador Cochrane's been running around all over the place trying to get a grasp on the situation. I was told she'd like to hear the story direct from you braces, so I'm to let you through. Huh? Alright. Since orbital lighting doesn't work, we're getting our light with lamps. Lamps are inconvenient and need care when handling, but there's something really heartwarming about them. It may be a bit inappropriate to be thinking that right now, though. Even Ambassador Cochrane seems quite tired. Her efforts to gather information have taken quite the toll on her sleep, apparently. We didn't have ordnance when I was young, so I'm not really fussed when they're out now. I understand why one would worry, since ordnance are so common nowadays, but perhaps now is exactly when I can be of aid to the ambassador. My husband is currently off at Grancel Castle. He apparently wants to inquire directly if there's any way to contact our home country. I think he'll just end up waiting pointlessly without an appointment though. As always, he is missing the point. Given that all communication from Laberle has cut off, I imagine the Republic is in quite a tizzy. Eventually someone will send an investigation team to represent them. We need to gather as much information as we can before then, but... Hello, Ambassador Cochrane. Estelle, good timing. I'll put this to you directly. Do you have any information about the situation? Given that the Royal Army seems to be acting quite calmly and confidently, I assume the situation was predicted? She's sharp. It seems I've let myself get a bit flustered by it all. I can guess Laberle has its own circumstances. Even if you knew anything, you probably couldn't tell me everything. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. Thinking about if our positions were reversed, I really can't complain. Ambassador Cochrane, let me just ask one thing then. Are we okay to just wait like this? What? She's asking if she can leave this situation to the Bracer Guild. To us, in other words, I think. Yes, of course. Right now, the Bracer Guild and the Royal Army are putting their full force into investigating this. I'm sure we'll resolve this phenomenon and get things back to normal. Please do. In international society, Labelle's superiority is maintained by our orbal technology. The non-aggression pact is a sign of that. If this situation continues, even the Queen won't be able to... Oh, and here is Anton. Broken heart bathed in the golden glow of dusk, the remnants of the dreams of the strong. Apparently Anton's heart was shattered once again in Rolent. Seems like he intends to be a dramaticist or something now. Professor Russell and Zeiss might know something. With orbments unusable, even our gorgeous capital is pitch black at night. Seems like the Queen is looking into the situation, but I wonder if she'll really find a way to make them work again. You guys are... please pass through. Oh, Olivier's not with us, but we can pass anyway? Yes, there's no problem. Given the situation, the ambassador would like as much information as he can get, it seems. I've been informed that if you Bracers came by, you were to be let through. Okay. Well then. I wonder if my father and mother in the Empire are safe. Olivier left the other day. I wonder if he's alright. Not being able to communicate with your own country in a situation like this is terrifying, I'll admit. You know that golden floating object? I've never seen or heard of anything like that before in my entire life. It's darn creepy, that much is for sure. I wonder what that last communique from the Empire meant. He was yelling something like, "What do you mean, don't move?" I wonder what that object floating above the lake is. Is this phenomenon occurring in the Empire as well? It'd be nice to know something. Knowing nothing at all is so nerve-wracking. There was a strange order from Erebonia before the orbital shutdown occurred, from what I've been told. Just as the ambassador tried to inquire about it, communication suddenly dropped. What on earth could it mean? Hello, Ambassador Cranor. Oh, you lot. Good timing. What do you know about the current situation? Any details you could provide would be of great assistance. Well, this is certainly out of the blue. Far from it. Orbments malfunctioning on such a mass scale is utterly unheard of. I won't be able to keep regular contact with Erebonia at this rate. I can't even get any work done. It's unacceptable. I see. Pardon me, sir. Have you inquired about with Grancel Castle yet? It's possible that Queen Alicia might be able to help you. Of course, I did that some time ago. Several times, in fact. I have yet to receive a response of any kind from Her Majesty. I think it's safe to assume that the palace is in just as an unfortunate state given the circumstances. Oh. If I could just restore communications, I could handle the rest. We can't give him a ZFG, right? Of course not. We barely have enough as it is. He just has to deal with it for now. Alright, that's everyone in the embassy spoken to. Before we go there, let's finish speaking to everybody out here. To youth nowadays, orbments not working is a source of terrible anxiety, it seems. Of course, it sure does make it hard to boil water. Guess I've gotten complacent too. The Lind is stuck in Rolent. I was so worried about my child that I came back to the capital. The rooms are so dark and cold. It's really scary, but I'm doing my best to be brave, just like Mama said. Don't tell anyone, but I was so relieved when I saw Mama's face I cried. I thought the orbital shutdown phenomenon shutdown problem was just in the capital, but it seems like it's affecting other regions too. If ordnance remain unusable forever, what's going to happen to this country? Laberl is a country that developed as much as it has thanks to ordnance, yes? If ordnance remain unusable like this, things will surely become more than just inconvenient. More like, seriously, give me a break. Don't you think this lifestyle is so tragic? That thing that appeared at the lake is super suspicious. I mean, doesn't it just look suspicious? The Grancel Castle kitchen is making our ice cream. The Queen said she wanted to make sure everyone could try it. I was shocked to hear the Queen has eaten my ice cream. Okay, into the store we go. Welcome! Thanks to all the Orbal energy going kaput, the latest edition of the Laberl News is only sold in the capital. Even so, the reporters and editors are incredible for managing to get an issue out at all. I gotta do my part and sell like crazy. Nice. Issue 10. Let's have ourselves a read then. Here we go. A message from the Editor-in-Chief. As you are no doubt aware, all orbments are experiencing an abnormal loss of power. This phenomenon appears to be nationwide and is having a severe effect on both manufacturing and transport. Even our magazine has had significant difficulty reaching print. While this phenomenon is hindering our ability to distribute nationally, we will try to release in the capital at least. Additionally, information is difficult to confirm in these circumstances. We apologize for any inaccuracies. Breaking news: the kingdom under fire. Monsters swarm urban centres. According to the Royal Army, yesterday morning unknown monsters began swarming around all major cities, save the capital. Army units engaged the fierce beasts, but thankfully things quieted by evening and no major damage was reported. Crimson soldiers attack guard posts. At roughly the same time as the monsters appeared, reports came in of Crimson soldiers attacking guard posts across the nation. Defense forces prepared and alert for combat engaged the invaders. As far as we have been able to confirm, no guard posts have fallen. We also have unconfirmed reports of the Crimson soldiers departing via airship. Just who are these red invaders? From their equipment to their armour and abilities, it is clear that the Crimson soldiers are a highly organised and well-funded force. Their allegiance is a mystery, but the most viable theory suggests they are Jaegers, a foreign mercenary group. The reports of airships at their disposal, however, raise questions of more powerful backers given the limited production of such vessels. The Bracer Guild is currently investigating. Breaking news: mysterious object appears in sky early dawn yesterday. An enormous flying object appeared over Valeria Lake in a flash of gold. The moment it appeared across the nation, Orbal power seemed to cease immediately. While the two incidents are believed to be connected, at the moment that link remains pure conjecture. Breaking news: ordnance remain inoperative. With this Orbal shutdown phenomenon continuing, the government has called for citizens to prepare replacements. Lamps and candles are recommended for light, while wood stoves and solid fuel for heat can work as well. The abnormality is not mechanical in nature, so repair is not possible. The situation may drag on, so citizens should prepare accordingly. Breaking news: activity at the ancient ruins. While defense forces were engaged in skirmishes across the country, the ancient ruins known as the Tetric Cyclic Towers were witnessed as having their roofs engulfed in what was described as a black sphere. The towers had previously shown signs of activity following the birthday celebration, when they emitted a mysterious light. Researchers are taking notice, and the towers are under observation. Our manager's pretty reliable, right? I can see why she says if I were on a glacier I could even sell ice. Forget about pots and plates, we need to secure food. This is getting serious. If we're not going to get anything to sell coming to us, we'll have to get our stock to sell ourselves. Sell anything you can at all. After all, our customers surely want products. Even if there's things we can't do anything about, we'll do the heck out of what we can do. Lately we haven't been getting our fish from Ruan, but from the Fisherman's Guild apparently. I thought they were purely a hobbyist group, but with Orbman's dead it seems they're really stepping up. Well, that's good. My sister, who is heading to Bose, is apparently in Rolent. Thank goodness, she's safe. I wasn't worried or anything. I'm going to challenge her head on and win the position of T-Sales staff after all. Well, it's good that maybe this is repairing their relationship a little bit. Welcome, the History Museum is open for free to all, at the behest of the Queen, who hopes our service will help the citizens relax in some way. I came here thinking it might be at least a chance to clear my head. I hope everything goes back to normal soon. Apparently the Queen mandated that attendance is free for this place. Seems to have cheered my children up. I bet we could use this without Orbles. I don't remember ever paying to come in here. Have I just been sneaking in without paying this whole time? Something strange has happened to the towers in each region that we are researching. The top of the towers were engulfed in some strange blackness and then went back to normal after a while. I wonder what that was. Actually, the Orble shutdown started when all of the tower's abnormalities had stopped. There's no particular damage to the History Museum. Even so, it doesn't change that it makes daily life hard. This event has made it very clear just how heavily we were relying on Orble energy. What a curious design. Is that a picture of the bobcat? Even without ornaments, you can still look at ancient relics and imagine the past. Archaeology should be something doable even in the greatest trials. Whoa, this is a true man's romance. I'm not going to get down over something like this. Wow, so they used stuff like this in the past, huh? If Orble energy never returns, I guess we'll go back to the era when we use these. Currently, as all Orble energy is suspended, none of our aircrafts are able to fly. We will gladly offer refunds here for any tickets. We are sincerely sorry. Ah, it's all over. The tour plan I put everything into is worth nothing now. No one's going to be travelling in these circumstances, huh? For a while this place was packed with people, but thanks to the Queen they seem to have calmed down. Just a bit ago I heard something similar happened in Zeiss. To think it's this nerve-wracking being unable to use ordnance. At the moment we are reconsidering all flights, but we ask for your understanding. Haven't seen that guy likes taking photos for a while. I suppose his camera won't be working. I thought the chief engineer would be freaking out more, to be honest. Seems like being in this desperate situation's actually calmed him down. If only he was always this confident. Seems like the Cecilia and the Lind are grounded over in Bose and Rolent. Well, nothing for it then. Just gotta wait and keep the landing port in shape until things change. Everyone's acting like the Queen can just snap her fingers and make things all better. They still don't even know why Orble energy stopped, right? This sucks. I'm stressing out big time. You can see that weird thing in the sky pretty well from the harbour. I bet you could see it even better from the castle. Thanks to the Queen, I'm still somehow able to keep up with my business. Even without ordnance, I'm striving to maintain the same level of service I always offer. Sadly, there's not much I can do about light or heat. I hope the ordnance are restored soon. Like, people just gotta use extra blankets and candles. You still not have any staff. He owns the biggest hotel, probably, and has 0 staff to help him with it. I was given orders from Her Majesty to go home by home and explain the situation to each and every resident. Naturally, not a single one of them has been thrilled to see me. I can understand why, but it still stings a bit. It's better to explain than to keep the public wondering, though. Just about anything right now could cause a panic. To ensure the citizenry aren't worried, I have to remain calm. Amen. Time to begin evacuation training for our house. First, roll call. At times like this, it's great comfort having that man around. There are all kinds of emergencies nowadays, so this kind of thing is important, don't get me wrong. But Dad's smile kinda makes me wonder. He likes being needed. With things as they are, I really don't think now's the time to fish, but... What are you saying? With an attitude like that, you'll never be able to join the group. This is exactly the time to cast your line and calm your mind. The mindset of a master fisher is that of a clear, still pond. Alrighty, looks like that's probably about half the city spoken to. I think now's probably going to be a good time to cut our episode in half. We'll finish speaking to everybody and killing the monsters in the second episode. But thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you know when the next episode's coming out. And also feel free to leave a comment on the video, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye bye for now.